I look hideous, don't I? But I'm getting ready for work. And I am out of it. I'm out of my fucking mind. Yeah, I'm grateful I did therapy for like 10 years. But one of them therapists really traumatized me. I was passed down from 4 therapists. Something sad would always happen to them. Like my first therapist, I guess she was broke. She just cried and told me I was her favorite patient, but she had to do her own private practice because they weren't giving her enough because she was with the state. And sorry, I just have to get rid of all the peach fuzz on my face. Like, I know they're not dark and they're not really noticeable to the eye, but I don't give a fuck. I don't like it. Second one, I never learned his first name. I just said, hey, I'm not feeling you. I'm gonna call you Mr. Bill, and that's the name I'm gonna keep it at, okay? He was like, all right, I'm Mr. Bill. Ended up getting so attached to him, bro. Favorite one. He had a heart attack. I never heard of him again. That's so sad. It's not even funny, but I laugh. But anyways, so anyways, Mr. Bill, the reason why he became my favorite therapist was because I opened up to Mr. Bill way more than I should, and he opened up way more than he should. I already had daddy issues, so you know I instantly saw this man as a father figure. And he saw me as a daughter, bro, because he didn't have no kids. He wanted kids, but unfortunately, you know, he had done so many drugs in the past that he just felt like he didn't want to pass down that gene. Scared of having, you know, the addiction genetic into his child. And his wife was also, she used to do hella drugs too, so they didn't know that he tried to kill himself about 3 times. Hung himself, the branch broke, 16 taps of acid. He just stayed awake for like 2 weeks. Doctor said his brain should have been fried. And I forgot how the third one happened, but regardless, changed his life around. Turned out he was a psychologist and a great one because he changed my life forever. But I would tell him a lot of things that he was supposed to go to the cops about, and he never did. You should know when to follow the rules and when not to, because I would tell him all the time. Like, maybe I was crazy, but I would tell him, I'm like, Mr. Bell, I swear to God, if you tell the cops and you try to snitch on me for, like, not snitch on me, but, you know, obviously try to tell them, because I would tell him about, like, SA shit from when I was a kid and recent. He actually caught on, but I didn't have to really mention it. But anyways, I would tell him, I'm like, if you fucking tell the police, I will act like I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, you're crazy, I'm crazy. Like, I will deadass just be like, I never said that. And I think so unprofessional of you to even make up these lies. Like, I'm telling you, like, I would tell him all the time and he'd be like, you have fucking issues. And I do, I know. But it's like, please, I did not. I was already having DSS charges and I was trying my best to be with my mom. And if another thing popped up, I would have been restarted all over. Same fucking process. I'm sorry, I was not feeling that shit at all. See, it's between these two. These are a little simpler. I'll go with these because I'm gonna wear eyeliner. But yeah, so he would always have him in his notes. Obviously, we were like yin and yang. But I just went to school and the office was like, I'm sorry, like he wanted to say bye, but I don't know, I guess he they had to move far immediately after he got out the hospital so he could be taken care of. He still had left his notes, you know, like everything in his office was still the same. And it took them like I think a month to find this bitch. The bitch took over. We had therapy for a while. She was diagnosing me with BPD. Yeah, no, that bitch was fucked up. Like when my mom died, she was with me and like not with me, but obviously like right when I returned to school, she called me, which like great for making it even more fucking obvious. And then her mom had also passed. And she was just like, welcome to the Dead Mommy Club. And I was just like, thanks, you know? Amazing. She made me go into detail. She's like, you can't leave the room until you tell me, you know, how you had to identify your mom's body and how the funeral was and everything. When I tell you, when my mom passed and during the funeral, I was straight. I did not cry. I did not break down sobbing. Kind of like freaked out when I had to like identify the body, but not like in a crying type of way. I just didn't want to leave her, you know? I think that's pretty normal, but I wasn't crying. No, I was good until that bitch made me go into detail. I remember I was just sobbing. And she was like, it's okay, let it out. Like, this is the healing process. I was like, wow. I'm not feeling like I'm healing. But either way, the bitch would always want to know about like if I had been sexually assaulted before or whatever. And I'm like, bitch, why do you want to know? Why do you keep asking? Like, I don't come talk to you about this shit. And then she was like, well, I read his previous notes and I got so mad. And I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, why would you do that? So obviously I denied that shit and I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. She was like, yeah, I have to get the police involved. And I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, bitch, like, no, you fucking don't. Like, why is that your first go-to of action? Like, and she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. He wasn't doing his job correctly. He wasn't supposed to do that. He didn't really care about you. He was probably just grooming you. And I'm like, you're such a fucked up bitch. No, he wasn't fucking grooming me. Like, trust me, I know what grooming is. I did not feel that. I left, went back to class. Not even an hour later, I get a call from our parole officer. Not parole officer, our officer at the school. I fucked with him. He knew I would do hella drugs and he would never snitch on me. So I fucked with him heavy. I don't think I'm allowed to say his name, but if you went to high school with me, you know exactly who I'm talking about. He was the only Hispanic officer there, but he called me and basically told me that Miss Bukia had told her what he found and stuff, and that I have to confess to it or whatever. I said no. I deadass said I did what I said I was gonna do. I was like, she's fucking crazy. I never said that shit. Like, she's being very unfucking professional. I was like, she's fucking crazy and mental herself. She needs therapy herself because yes, the fuck she did. I don't know. I had an off and on relationship with her. Like, sometimes I'd understand her pain and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, you were going through some shit too when you were younger. So I get why you have. Bitch, why are you gonna come into this fucking career when you still haven't healed yet? Like, that's the worst thing you can do is choose a field that you are not ready in. Because not only are you fucking yourself up by dealing with other people's problems while your shit is still unsolved, but you're gonna fuck that person up too. Like, I'm fucking traumatized. And I told Mr. Officer, I told the officer, I was gonna say his name, if he fucking arrests me for not cooperating, I was like, I will kill myself in jail. I deadass looked this man in the eyes and I said, I will kill myself in jail and it's going to be your fault. I was like, if you put me into jail, I will fucking make you feel bad. Because he was like, it's gonna change your life for the better. Like, you're gonna come out a new person now. I was like, I'm gonna come out worse. I was like, I'm gonna come out traumatized and come out even worse. I'm like, you think I'm bad right now? Put me in jail. I was like, see what happens. Like, am I crazy though? I don't know. I don't think maybe I'm telling you, I could not fucking have another case like at that time. Mind you, this was before my mom passed. That incident. Her telling me about the whole Dead Mommy Club was still after because I still had to fucking go to counseling. And no, I ended up not saying shit. She learned her lesson. She didn't do that shit again. We were just... Honestly, sometimes we would sit in silence. I'm not gonna lie. She'll just be like, do some schoolwork or stuff. But I just think about her a lot. And I'm just like, wow, bitch, you really try to fuck me up. Even the officer was like, yeah, I think this is a little bit too extra on both ends. He was like, if she doesn't want to talk about it, like, And I was like, exactly. And then the fourth one, he was so cool. Like, he was so cool. Like, honestly, I'm so thankful to have met him because he really, like, after I ain't gonna say her name, but after that bitch fucked me up, I really was so over therapy. Like, I was like, I'm so done with this shit. Like, please, like, I'll go back to court and even try to, like, tell the judge to fucking not put me back in. But obviously, since my mom had just passed, the odds were against me. Just call him Rue. He was so fucking chill. Like, honestly, understood me. He told me straight up, like, no, you're not crazy. Like, that was fucked up what she did. He agreed with me. He was like, I don't know why the fuck she would do that shit. And he even said it. He was like, yeah, sometimes this job's hard because, you know, telling the truth isn't gonna make it feel better, you know, actually make worsen the situation and the anxiety. And I'm like, wow, thank you. And he as well had to start doing private practice because the school wasn't paying him enough. So he wrote me a letter, I think, and the office also gave it to me. That was very sweet. I was really sad, but everyone comes and goes. So when people tell me they don't know if they should do therapy, I'm like, I think you should. It definitely helps. But you're not gonna click with every therapist. Like, you have to bounce from, like, it's just like people. You're not gonna click with everybody on the first go, you know? Sometimes you have to get to know them before you even fucking click, where you get to know them and you realize that you really would never click with them. Just kind of depends, you know? But I mean, it still helped me. And if anything, I learned a lot about psychology. Like, as they were analyzing me, I started analyzing them. And I would ask them questions too about their childhood, because I'm like, patterns. I hate when lashes are so stubborn to come off. Bitch, why you want to be on there so bad? I don't know what I did. Can y'all hear that? That cat has been screaming out my motherfucking window for the past fucking week, bruh. Since I came back from fucking Mexico. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. I'm about to just change and shit. This is my little story of me, you know, having a little mini rant of my past. I love you guys. You guys can always fucking message me. I have all my socials down below. And I do respond. It might take me a minute, but I really will respond. Especially if you're having a mental breakdown. Like, I'll be like, dang, let's do some breathing exercises together. Because more than likely, I'm having a mental breakdown too, so it's not that bad. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.